All right, now we're unmuted. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for game number 3, the third and final one between Bait and Team Unique for the Dota 2 Champions League 2021. Now, down to this best of one situation. Bait taking game number 1, Team Unique taking the second. And the second game was really, really dominant. Like, it didn't look like there was anything Bait can do to respond to that. So maybe that was just a matter of the fact that Unique had just sort of discovered how to play around Bait a little bit more, or it was down to picks. Who really knows? But maybe Bait might change something up themselves in this game number 3. I mean, they are still really after any sort of victory. Like, so far in the group stages, all they've got is 2 wins out of 5 games, I believe, and this is the 6th. So really, to have any hope of making yourself through to the playoffs, you've got to have at least half and half. So this game is super, super crucial for them. They can't really afford to give this one away. Well, not give it away, but not play as best as they possibly can. And Bay are actually swapping things up now, banning out the Omni and the Lina instead. So the Pangolier is actually still in the pool this time. And meanwhile, Unique, once again, removing the Coal. Game number 1, they removed the Beastmaster. The second, the Night Stalker. So it looks like they're keeping that trend going. Now's the first pick from Bait. They're going to grab the Beastmaster themselves, as they were expecting, I guess, Unique was going to grab that. And I think that's probably what they were going to do, put it back into hands of Petashara, because he was really able to dominate that safe lane, the off lane, sorry, and screw over Watson. So they're just going to make sure that does not happen yet again. I mean, the Pangolier is still in the pool, though. So that could easily get picked up now from either squad. Maybe Unique might want to go for that now. And then obviously when you see a Pangolier, it gives you plenty of time to respond by picking up like a Bloodseeker. But obviously, if Bait have already got this Beastmaster secured, if they want to grab the Bloodseeker, then it pretty much has to be as their position 1 carry. And then if that's the case, you've already got your carry and your offlaner picked in the very first round. So it gives loads of opportunities for Team Unique to really customize their draft and how to combat those heroes. So maybe they might not do that. It might be a bit risky. But they're really thinking about what it is they want to grab right now. And they're going to sell, but going for the Titan and the Gyrocopter. Okay. Very interesting hero pairing. So now this gives Bait the opportunity to take the Pangolier themselves if they want to. I'm not quite sure who on their team plays it that much. Have they actually played it before? They must have. Yeah, they played it twice. It was a while ago, though. 4 days ago since they last picked this hero. I mean, they could still go for it. The Titan already secured here from Unique. Like, I guess they just really want to play this hero. It is their most picked so far in this current patch. They've grabbed it 6 times, won 4 of those. So it's not like they've got a pretty decent win rate so far. Maybe they do actually flex this hero, either the off lane or the position 5. I'm not too sure. Obviously, when you see a Tide Hunter, you just immediately think it's going to be in the off lane. It just makes the most sense in that role. It does the most work. But it could still be the 5. Some teams have picked up before in the past. But Bait, once again, for the 3rd and final time in this series, going in for the Shadow Demon for SA. Like, he was able to do a hell of a lot of work in game number 1. In the second, unfortunately, his disruptions actually cost the life of Dendi on 2 different occasions. So maybe they might ban out the Hoodwink. It's possible. The hero is very disruptive. It brings a lot to the table. They banned out the Pangolier themselves, so definitely not interested in grabbing it. And Team Unique... Ooh, just dropping my phone. But Team Unique taking out the Slark. So again, another hero that plays pretty effectively against the Gyro. So not going to make an appearance in this one. Maybe they might remove the...
5 seconds.
I was going to say like the Ember Spirit and the Void maybe. But I mean, it's pretty early days to be banning out the mid. But actually, mind you, the offlane and the position 1 have already been secured, right? So surely that's pretty much the only people you would target. Maybe you could drop like a support ban in there if you really wanted to. Like, Unique have actually been rolling with a bit of Rubik, as long as if the draft was correct for it. So they could possibly drop in a Rubik ban if they like. But then, mind you, the Pangolier's already been gone as well. So dropping too many bans towards the supports could feel kind of overwhelming and then give a little bit too much space for FM. Obviously, they've already banned out his Lina. He was able to do a very good job on the Ember Spirit in the previous one. So it could be worth just banning that hero out now. I'm actually going to remove the Void instead. Okay, it's quite an interesting choice. Should we now ban out the Ember as well? Just remove both of those possible heroes for FM? Not too sure. Sven also getting taken out. So Unique are literally just focusing towards Watson in this game. I think they banned out the Medusa before when they were doing like a lot of position 1 targets. So maybe they might do that. Or they could just remove his Luna, another one of his favourite heroes. But they have actually left the Clinks in the pool this time round. Like, obviously it got picked in both the other games. But despite the fact that it has made such an appearance and it was effective in game number 1, Team Unique don't seem bothered by it. They're just going to let it flow. If Bait grab it, so be it. They don't seem to care. Already a lot of reserve time been expended here from Bait, just on their bans. And they will actually chuck one towards the PL. I suppose it is the possibility that the gyro can be put onto the position 5. It is quite effective in that role as well. Just the early barrage levels do such a good job at zoning out the opposing support and just give plenty of space for your carry to farm up.
10 seconds remaining.
So it does make sense just to cover your bases a little bit. Well, they've removed like one of each. They're taking away an off laner support, taking away a mid laner, and taking away a carry. So they're not quite sure what's going to actually end up happening with any of these heroes, but they're covering their bases. Which is a smart way of playing. It really is. I imagine this was going to be another position 1 ban here now. Like, they've not bothered banning any of Dendy's heroes in either of these games. They just don't seem to care about him at all, which is sad. But in a way, it sort of makes sense because Dendy, he can lane well. Sure, he performs nicely in the lane. He can get decent CS, even if he has an unfavorable matchup. But he just doesn't seem to do anything after that. As soon as the lane's over, he just really drops off heavily. And they do ban out that Luna and immediately pick up the Chikiro. Okay, so that's a hero you do not see very often at all. He is quite cool. Does a lot of different things. He's got damage. He's got a stun. Got a slow. Got attack speed slow as well. Very well-rounded hero. So the only downside to him is that they patched out the fact that his macro pyro destroys trees, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I think it's actually quite big because I still do play a fair bit of Chikiro if I ever get the 5 roll, but yeah, I just feel like that part of the hero was kind of a big thing. But who knows? Who cares? Minor thing. It's only position 5. So this is looking like it's going to be a carry gyro then after they've grabbed that hero. And the Medusa is the pickup there from Bait. So it was left in the pool. So they immediately snap it up. And it does work quite well with the Shadow Demons in conjunction with that. Obviously, you could do Disruption onto her. And then you get 2 extra Medusa illusions just to fire arrows out in all different directions.
5 seconds.
Let's see what they're going to grow up, though. Probably going to be their 5 now for Gatsy. I mean, they might decide to go for another Undying pickup. Can lane well against the Tide. Oh, they're actually going to go for the ET. That's a hero I've not seen for a while. Going to be swinging that big old briefcase around, doing a lot of damage. So whatever position for that unique pickup, it's going to be someone who can deal with that quite nicely. Otherwise, they're just going to get pressured in the lane so hard. Well, they're actually going to grab the Invoker now. Pretty early pickup. Well, I wouldn't say it's that early, actually. 4th pick for them. It's pretty reasonable. So that's FN's hero for the mid lane. So it's just Dendy's to pick up now for Bait. And they've got a couple of bans left.
10 seconds remaining.
So it's looking like Unique are just missing their position 4 now. Yeah, it looks like it's just their 4. Meanwhile, obviously, Bait still just after the mid laner for Dendy. Okay, they banned the Mars. So are they thinking this is a support Tide then? Position 5 Tide with 4 Chikiro? I don't know, it seems weird. I don't really think Chikiro works in many other roles apart from 5. Like, doesn't seem to really have that much more of an impact when he has a greedier role. Unless they think it's like a position 4
Seconds.
gyro. No, I don't get it. I don't get the Mars spam. That doesn't make much sense to me.
Remain.
Unless position 4 Mars is a thing. 5 Chikiro, 4 gyro, 3 tides. Yeah, so in which case then they'll be after their carry, which just makes these bans even more confusing. They also banned the Sand King, so they really think that they're looking up for a mid laner, an off laner now. Very interesting bans indeed. And Unique just instantly take away the puck in the Kunkka. I think that's the same final bans they did in the last game as well against Dendi. So let's see what they want to pick up. Somebody needs to play up against the Invoker relatively well in the lane. Void Spirit's already been taken out. Didn't have much time to work with. So they are going to go for the Viper. It's a hero that can play well up against the Tide. It does pretty effectively against the Invoker as well in the laning phase. But obviously it is Dendi. So who knows how it's going to turn out. Yeah, I don't think it should be too bad. Cheers for the follow as well, Krill.
Seconds.
Krail? I'm going to go with Krail. Yeah. Cheers for the follow, buddy.
Weaver.
And Weaver is actually the grab. Okay, so yeah, it's the position 4 gyro. So I'm not really sure what bait would target in those position 3 bans towards. Very, very strange. Maybe they're thrown off by that themselves. I don't know. But yeah, easily Spacers pick up the Weaver. Obviously here that can just sort of like poke in and out of the team fights. You're easily able to like evade the stone gaze from Medusa when she pops it. But it's not one of those heroes that can like stand toe to toe with her. It's very sort of a disengaging carry. You're going to be spending most of your time at whittling away the backline to bait rather than just trying to deal with the Medusa straight off. But bait are actually lacking once again in disables. Like they have Roar and Stomp. I suppose Disruption, but then obviously that's just like a... It's not really a proper disable, because it actually just completely destroyed someone from the game. So they're definitely lacking in CC. Meanwhile, Unique, they've got a pretty decent amount. Ravage, Homing Missile, Ice Path, Tornado and such from the Invoker. So they've got a pretty well-rounded base themselves. And I assume then this is going to be a Exhort-based Invoker, seeing as how it's paired up with the Tidehunter. Going to be trying to go in for that early Aghanim Scepter, get the Cataclysm online as fast as you can, and set up some super early game rampages. I'm sure that's what Team Unique are thinking about with this pick. But to be honest, sometimes you can have a fantastic plan down on paper, but implementing the idea is a whole different thing. You've got to be in the right place, the right time, and actually get the initiation on yourselves. But I mean, if you can pull the Ravage Cataclysm combo off, it is really devastating. You'll probably just win the team file for that on its own. As well as the fact with the early Exhort points, you're going to have the Homing Missile from Bignum, which is going to be a fantastic setup for Sunstrikes at the early parts of the game. Ice Path can do, but it's a really short duration for the early levels, so it's not quite as reliable. And I don't think it's really worth putting more points into Ice Path early on just to secure that. So it would probably just be normal, like, dual breath levels here from the Jackie. But yeah, I imagine it is, yeah, the Exhort build from FN. It makes all the sense. But no one actually standing toe-to-toe in this mid lane for now. Everyone just hiding back yet again.
30 seconds to battle.
What was a ping there from Slayer? I don't know if that means they want to try and go for that rune or not. I don't think they should. I mean, Space might. He can actually jump in there with the Sakuchi. But... And especially after the fact that Bait, like I said, they don't have any decent disables here. So how are they really going to catch him? Like, I suppose SA can take early levels of Disruption to get the grab onto him that way. But then, where's your follow-up disable? There isn't really any. And Team Unique just take the top one, and they take the bottom one as well. Interesting. Bait don't even contest at all for the second bounty rune. Just lets Unique get that third extra one. Which is an interesting choice. I mean, I suppose they probably had the same thinking I did, that they don't really have much level 1 fighting potential. They probably would when it comes down to like a 5v5 fight in that like early level 1s. Unique probably would come out on top. It's a good bit of discipline not to go for that. And the creep's already underneath the tower as well. So this wave's slowly going to get pushed in. Gatti does drag it away a little bit, but it's still going to do some work.
Close, but not quite.
FN taking the points into Wex already. Rather than going for the exhort. Kind of interested to see what he's going to put his second point into. Because that'll be a big tell about what it is his actual plans are for this game. And meanwhile, top SA does get ran down from space and Slayer and has to just go for the TP back to the tower. And pop his own salve. So already a bit of economical damage done. Pretty nice. And FN... No, okay, he's going Quas. That's very interesting. We'll end up missing that, but down bot. First blood is actually found onto Petty Shara. And... how? Like, this is not a very traditional kill lane. A Medusa and an Elder Titan. I'm not quite sure how they managed to get a kill up against a tied Gyro. Very confusing. Maybe it's because of the early point of the homing missile rather than the rocket barrage. Like, he couldn't just bully Gatsy away. I don't know. Ended up costing them the first blood, though. And it even went over towards Watson, of all people. So, extra bit of gold towards the position 1. Always a nice thing to have. Petshar even actually still suffering on CS. Only 2-0 right now. Meanwhile, in this mid, relatively even at the moment. 7-4 to FN to the 6-1 of Dendi. Just a few denies that are really upsetting the balance here. And no one's actually made a dash for the 2-minute water runes yet. I'm sure Dendi probably would like to wait for his bottle, but probably dangerous to wait that long. Just for the extra refills. Oh, we want the beast. Just taking a little bit of rundown damage here at the top. So we've got to be careful. Did take quite a few Shadow Poison stacks there. Space even got a few on himself. And very interesting choice, the fact that he knew he was going to be playing up against the Shadow Demon, but he did not start off with a stick. He does have one coming out on the Courier. Oh, 5 stack onto Slayer. Just slightly short on the damage to actually get that kill. If he was level 3, would have been enough to find that one. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way for him. Fortunate enough for Slayer, though. Let's get the half pull. And Dendi, all of his mana is now gone. Doesn't have any way to actually try and harass out FN now, who's going to be able to stay very dominant in this lane. At least until Dendi's portal gets delivered, which is right here. It's crazy how these war runes have actually survived up until 3 minutes 15. Very surprising indeed. It allows Dendi just to get the free bottle refill. So the patience pays off. Down at the spot. But the Watson actually at the top of CS at the moment, 16-5. It's a very, very nice start for him already. With that first blood, 21,000 gold, 500 over the second place position. It's a massive lead. The first blood bonus doesn't account for that. Just add on to the superior CS he's able to do. And Jesus Christ, Gatsy, that briefcase hurts so much. 168 damage from a level 3 is just... It's too much. It's too much damage. Absolutely ridiculous. Bignum's just going to... I guess he's just securing the bounty route, I guess. I suppose normally you would leave it for your mid laner to fill up their bottle, but he has got an Invoker, so he's not going to be trying to get that at all. And Dendi just dropping down all of his own mana there onto FN, because he knew it was just going to get purged away from the mana, from the EMP. But it's still 0 points into Exalt here from FN. This is very strange. Obviously, the Quas Exalt, the Coswex, sorry, makes a lot of sense up against the Viper, so you can just continually burn away his mana. That's probably the only way that you'll actually win this lane. But even then, you're significantly hindering your teamfight capabilities the later on this game goes. Like, 0 points into Exalt with a Tide in your team is definitely rough. But I mean, every single one of those combos, Dendi's down to 0 mana again and again and again. Even despite this, like, FN's still doing a pretty good job. 18-8 right now to 21-14 of Dendi. Doing a fantastic job of his deniers. Well, both of them have, to be fair. Just a slight lead for the Viper. Bignum just trying to chase away Gatsy there. It's a scary amount of damage. Especially coming out from just a simple support. Oh. Ooh. The Ice Path just came in slightly too slow. I think it must have been on cooldown. If he got that connection, I think that definitely would have been a dead Beastmaster. especially with his TP on cooldown. But he's closing into the Helm of the Dominator, though, only 200 gold away. And this is like proper Helm Rush. No stick, no Quelling Blade, no little stat buffing items at all. This is just a straight up rush for that Helm of the Overlord. He wants to get the online as fast as he possibly can to start getting the most impact out of the item. Because obviously it does drop off around like the 30-minute mark, I'd say. Not like a hard drop off, but most of the heroes in the game can sort of deal with it at that stage. Natural TP to the mid there from SA. I guess he wanted to help out because the gank came in there from Bignum. Even just drops down the friendly south. Who actually ended up getting the 6-minute rune? It was FN that got it. Looks like they're picking out FM. I'm not sure if they can actually get this kill or not. It's a very difficult one to get. Unless they actually... Well, they got the Sentry Ward in case FN did use Ghost Walk. Well, then he just doesn't really have the mana at this stage to go for that. He does have it when he gets those 2 cheeky bounty rune refills. He even gets another stack on the camp, or does he? Nah, they're just too slow. The creep to the back was stopping him from getting that extra stack, which is unfortunate for him. Could have been an extra, like, 200 gold, 150 gold, however much they actually get from that extra stack. Even still, big extra bonus chunk. Now, I wonder what FN's going to go for. Is he going to go for, like, the Hand of Midas build, which is pretty standard? He's got the Earner Shadows online now. So looking to get active. If you get one of these items online, obviously it works fantastically with Coswex Invoker. With the just activating Cold Snap every single time. There's a good amount of lockdown. So you might still decide to go in for the Hand of Midas next. And he's about to have enough to actually get the Glove of Haste, so maybe he might do. It's time to find out. Meanwhile, Watson going straight in for that Yasha as first item. We're going to have a line at a pretty decent time as well. Snake, Jesus Christ, so much damage. Poor Petushara. He actually has his own Helm of the Dominator online. With an equal, pretty similar sort of rush coming out from the Beastmaster. Who, speaking about which, had to drop his Raw down defensively just to allow him to escape. And he does manage to get out of there. And there was actually a rotation from FN as well. So it's probably not too bad even trading the Raw for that. Waste the Invoker time. Holds them back. Obviously, it did cause the responsive from Gatsy as well. But I think you're fine with that. Oh, maybe they're going to go for the grab here. Onto Dendi. There is going to be the lead up with the barrage. The disruption. It gives him some space with sleep. It actually gets cancelled from the damage. But Dendi's still in the spot bomb. But the Ice Puff does get connection. As well as the Homing Missile. That's going to be more than enough damage to find the kill. FN, though, he is very low. It looks like he might manage to get himself out of there. Slayer's not so fortunate, as he will be the sacrifice. But even still, you trade your position 5 for the mid laner. 100% worth. Especially seems like Dendi's been having a pretty decent time in this mid. A few more moves like that, you can severely hinder his game. I mean, he is Dendi, so he's probably going to drop off of his own accord anyway. But even still, any help you get is good. FN, though, still actually the bottom of all the cores for now. And he is going for that Hand of Midas to try and enter like recovery mode and get those early points up. They're actually going to go for a cheeky smoke here with Slayer. Once again, heading back up towards the top. And the Beastmaster does have Roar up in 10, but he doesn't have any mana to use it. Actually, I say that. And he did just use the Clarity as well as the Arcane Ring. But even still, actually, they're just going to run into the structure instead. Find that kill. Down he goes. And the Beastmaster just goes for the flat-out TP away. So some good charges being built here from FN. Getting some good effect out of the item already. But I'm still just confused about... Well, I'm not confused. I just think the Exort would have been really, really nice for him. But, you know, it makes sense why he went for what he did. You know what? Gatsy getting ran down on the bot. Has to go for the defensive stomp. Space just barely able to get out of the radius. Sakuchi up in another second. Is this going to be enough to find the kill? No, it's not. The Geminate attack is not going to be enough to find that kill. And able to get himself out. And another pause. Another disconnect. Still, we're continuing the trend of one pause every game at least. Just wouldn't be the same without it.
Masterful.
Already, just look at the lead that Watson's built over space. 1,300 gold at 10 minutes in. That's a pretty big, massive chunk. Already got the Yasha going straight in for that Manta style, half his way towards his ultimate orb. And then obviously the Mantis, the actual recipe itself is a very minor bit of gold. He's just about to hit his 10 as well. Just needs a sliver of experience more. So he's just hanging about here in this invis. Maybe he wants to try and set up for a kill, but obviously there's not actually anybody else in the area to do that. I mean, there's FN. They may have enough damage to get a kill onto somebody, but Watson and SA both in the area to lend a helping hand. But meanwhile, though, Space was actually able to successfully take the tower down at the bot with the help of Petishara, who is still a fair chunk of gold away from his Helm of the Overlord. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster, pretty similar actually. But they got exactly the same builds. We can just look at net worth to see the difference between them. Actually, yeah, Petishara is a full like 700 gold over the top of the Beastmaster at the moment. I suppose actually because he did go in for the bots, the brown boots, sorry. Meanwhile, actually no, Petishara did also go in for the brown boots, as well as the Quelling Blade and infused raindrops. But he's still ahead. Just had a bit of a better time. 19 more CS probably would equate to that amount of gold, to be fair. Dendy's still trying to farm up. Wants to get his Rod of Atos before he starts making much action happen. I mean, once he gets that, he's going to be able to stop the escape of the Weaver as well as the Invoker. As long as he have a couple of his teammates assist him, he should have enough damage to easily secure either of them. I mean, it's actually pretty difficult to lock down the Weaver this game. Like, as I said earlier, they don't have much disables. The Stomp, maybe, but then as soon as you damage onto him, it cancels the sleep and allows him to get the time-lapse off. Disruption's not going to do anything. Roar is literally the only way to get a catch onto this Weaver and kill him. And then obviously if you're dropping the Roar for the Weaver, then the Invoker's going to be free to just carry on doing whatever the hell he wants to do in the team fights. So yeah, this Weaver pickup's pretty nice. Very, very nice indeed. And just now finished his Maelstrom as well. So his farming speed is going to accelerate. I think then it's probably on par to the farming speed of a Medusa. Oh, I missed that, but up top, the Beastmaster actually ends up dying. FN, though, might get returned here. He's got the Viper Strike on him as well as the Demonic Purge. It's a lot of damage. There is going to be the Banish trying to hold him in place, as well as the follow-up stun. The Beastmaster's still involved, even though he's dead. The Stomp also coming out from the ET, does a lot of damage. Then he's got to be careful. The Ravage does get popped. He's getting low, but Watson, he's coming in with the Stone Gaze. He took down Bigland, and they might be able to keep him alive. Petishara, he turns around, he thinking he was dead. He's got Gush up in a second. Is it going to be enough damage? It's not. He just slowed him. He doesn't even have enough mana to go for an Anchor Smash. He's going to survive. He actually lives with a sliver of HP. SA even manages to pick off Slayer on the retreat. So 4 kills there coming out from Bait. They lose the Beastmaster, sure, but that is a fantastic turn of events from them. Absolutely colossal. Nice little chunk of gold going to their favour as well as experience. And that was so close to Watson dying there. It was really, really close. Not Watson, sorry. Dendy. But it's like, I think it was because the stick on the Titan was on cooldown for like 2 more seconds. If he had that up, he could have got the mana for an Anchor Smash, and that definitely would have got the Viper killed. Very fortunate there for Dendy. If he gets lucky there with the 50-50. Looks like FN's has just now got his Hand of Midas completed. He's coming out on the Courier. And he's starting to put points into Exhort. So I guess he sort of knows that, or his plan is now to go in for the Aghanims and get this Cataclysm online to actually give their team a bit of damage with this Ravage combo. I mean, he's still a fair bit of gold away from it. Well, he's all the gold. Still 4 grand to go. And then he still needs to actually build up a few levels into Exhort to make the Cataclysm do any damage at all. Because with only 2 points, it's going to tickle everybody. I mean, every single member of Bait was actually in their own jungle. I'm not sure why they were clustering up so much. Were they afraid of some potential move from Team Unique? I don't know.
Something for everybody.
They do see space, and they do actually have Roar available. He's actually going to run straight to him. The disruption's going to be there. He's going to have to try and get the time lapse off instantly, but the stun from the Minotaur, perfectly timed, locked him down, space off the map. Very, very well timed stomp there with the Centaur. Allows him to get that initial stun to allow the Primal Roar initiation as well. Fantastic stuff. And now like that, 1100 gold away from his Helm of the Overlord. Meanwhile, Petishara still actually has to finish off the Vlads and then the Helm, and then the recipe, sorry. So he is going to be behind the Beastmaster in that regard. What? Yeah. What? Killed him? SA, you just looked right at it. You literally just looked right at the ward. Why are you not killing it? Why are they not killing this ward? What? Okay, now he does. I'm so confused. Or maybe he's like trying to do some weird bait play, but actually in the mid, Dendy's now getting goal on them himself. Cold Slap, Tornado, everything used. The Ravage is going to be there, but it does nothing. The disruption from SA completely negated. They're going to drop down the Macropire and the Meatball. Dendy's still taking a lot of damage. He's going to take down to this. Bigland will get traded off. And Petishara as well. He's going to try and go for the TP out the Minotaur. The Stomp actually was there from Gatsy and cut off his escape. So they do find a 2-for-1. And that's actually pretty good turn of events there from Bait. Seeing as how they even completely dodged the Ravage. That was just fantastically timed there from SA. Knew what was going to happen. Unfortunately, Dendy still does die. Maybe, yeah, I was going to say, maybe he's going to build into a 4-staff next. Just to allow him to actually get out of that sort of situation. Because there's just so many slows otherwise. So it'll be a very, very nice pickup. Cheers for the follow as well, G Vajago. Appreciate that, man. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. But Overlord, only 250 gold away now for the Beastmaster. And the Invoker, I mean, he's not even got anything queued up yet. He must be going for the Ags. It's like the most pinnacle item for him this game in conjunction with the Tide. If he doesn't get it, then I don't know, man. It'd be weird. Cheers for cast, no problem, dude. Glad I could help. I'm still surprised that there's not an official English cast for this tournament. It's really weird, but hey, I'll fill in the gaps where I can. Do my part, boys. Do my part. One more hero level. Still, oh my god, look at the gold difference between Watson and Space. It's like 3,500 gold at 17 minutes in. This man's got Manta, Casual, Ultimate Orb, going into the Scardy with the Dragon Lance, and now they're even going to go for the Roche. Ravage is still on cooldown for 45 seconds. The Sunstrike does actually scout that out there from FN, but they're not going to be able to respond. This Roshan is going to die no matter what. Aegis into the hands of Watson. This man just going to be even more difficult to kill now.
Radiant's top tower is in danger.
And this game is starting to look really, really bleak here for Unique. That rhymed. They're even going to take down this tier 1 tower. Space really got his own force, which might help out a couple of his teammates in similar situations, but even still, Space just really needs to start getting a few items online. But even with the Maelstrom and the Sakuchi, apparently his farming speed just can't match the pace of Watson. I thought it would balance out a little bit, because obviously Watson has the bonus of the multi-shot, but it's very slow for him to go from camp to camp. Meanwhile, Space can just Sakuchi there with the damage and Maelstrom. But apparently not. He's actually maybe go for the cut here. Actually, the Sensual gets the spot. He has to go for the immediate time lapse back. Yeah, he gets the spot. They know he's TP'd out there. But that Sentry Ward just falling his plans completely. Oops. So maybe Bait gonna try and pressure him for this tier 2 at the top now. As I'm not sure there's too much the Unique can do to fight. Like, sure, they've got the Ravage and everything online, but they just don't really have that much source of damage. They can focus someone down with, like, Macropire, Meteor, all this sort of good stuff. But I think without this Cataclysm, they are severely lacking in that department. And he has got it queued up, thank God. Thank God. But he's still 3,000 gold away. It's not going to be up here anytime soon, even with the help of the Hand of Midas. Meanwhile, the tier 2 still ends up dropping. Outpost can now be captured away, start getting that experience lead. It looks like just a very subtle push of Unique into this mid. Just the Shadow Demon alone is going to be able to defend it. Watson just swapping around the neutral items a lot. Very confusing. But I mean, he's nearly got his Scardy online now. Only about 300 gold away. And that's just another colossal power spike for Bait. The difference between carries is now 5,000 gold. Or about to be. Yeah, 5 grand. Just like that. And it's not even like Space has been screwed over that hard. Well, talking about getting screwed over, Petishara caught out here from Dendi and Gatsy. He's going to try and go for the TP out, but that is very ambitious. Not going to happen, mate. Hell no. And another kill. Going towards Dendi this time. But look! Right! I said so many times before, Dendi, he does a good job in the lane. He's able to be effective. But even though his team's winning and he's finding kills, he's still the bottom core. How does this keep happening to this man? I just don't understand. Literally, he's 1, 2, and 8. I mean, he's been focused in the last couple of fights, sure, but even still, he shouldn't be at the bottom. He should not be at the bottom by any means. Who knows? Dendi's got some, like, interesting plays, man. He's given all the farms to do so. But this happens every game. Every game, no matter what position one he's got, he's always the poorest core. He's always poorer than, like, the opposing position 3, his own position 3. He's such a selfless player. Like, a lot of mid lane players in this current meta just, well, for the last, like, couple of years, really, it's been very greedy stuff. So, Dendi just staying with that true selfless mid lane player. I don't know. Well, it seems to be working out this game anyway. Can't complain too much. A second tier 2 about to fall here. And it looks like they're actually going to push forward to the high ground. I mean, they've still got Aegis for another 50 seconds or so. There is a glyph available, though, for Bait. And they may just be forced to pop it here. As it is literally just Bignum and Slayer in the vicinity to try and defend this. They've got to pop it. They've got to pop it soon. They will now. The creep wave's about to arrive. So the backdoor protection is not even able to give any safety. Actually, just going to burn the remaining Marlowe Watson. Oh, he tried to go there for the Mountain dodge. Just unfortunately off the mark. Maybe they could just reset. In about 25 seconds, he's about to get all of his mana back anyway. Dendi just carries on cutting the mid creep wave. Petishara looking like he wants to go in there. There's still no Ags. Still really, really need this item. 850 gold for FN. He needs about another minute and a half where he can actually get this item up. And then their team might be able to take a fight. But, I mean, it doesn't look like Bait going to give them an opportunity. Once again, the creep wave's here. They're back up onto the high ground. There's no glyph this time to force them away. So Unique are going to have to fight, or they're just going to lose their tier 3 for nothing. This SA there with the disruption to save Watson's mana pool. Even gives all the illusions there, so extra pushing power. And the tier 3 goes. But a wraparound for the backline here for Unique Bignum. He does get a spot with the high ground vision, so B8 know exactly where they are. They even get the sleep up to Petishara right before they engage. The 4-star into the depths of the enemy line. They even drop the roar onto him. He's gone! He's dead before he could do anything at all. He may be forced to use his buyback here, because there's no way Bait is going to retreat. They're going to carry on going forwards. I think Watson attempted a Manta dodge there of the missile, but it's a little bit off. But even still, it doesn't matter. Barrett's getting beat into. Another EMP. Unfortunately, SA wasn't in the correct position there to get the save onto him with the disruption. But he's still going to carry on going in. Doesn't even really care. As long as they can kill this melee barracks, I think they're fine with that. Even just a load of mangoes getting chucked on him from the support. Disarm about to wear off. They're still just constantly keeping this man controlled. He's always stunned or disabled or something. They're actually dropping down quite a few skills onto him now. It's a bit of damage. Can the rest of the team come in? The respawn from the type, it doesn't matter. Bignum gets deleted. Slayer, he's going to die as well. The Ravage comes out. They will kill the Deucer. But the Sunstrike was actually used for the dead body. Not going to do anything. Now everyone else on the side of B8 just going for the mass retreat. And there's no disables left to stop it. Everyone makes the escape. I mean, that does actually cost the life of the Doozer. 4 kill streak, 570 gold. But unfortunately for Unique, all that gold goes towards Slayer of the position 5. And that doesn't even put a dent into the lead that he has over Space. He's still just easily the real powerhouse of this game. 6,000 gold over the top of this guy at 25 minutes in. We would just find a little cheeky double damage at the bot. And they still lost their tier 3 in the melee barracks as well. But now, though, I did see Ags is online for FN. So the big Cataclysm Ravage combo is ready and available to use. Obviously, still got to wait 90 at least for the Ravage to be off cooldown. But these next coming team fights are definitely going to be a bit easier for Unique. Oh, they're actually going to try and go for a cheeky kill onto Gatsy. It's all TPing in. Yeah, this is a dead man for sure. I mean, the disruption there for SA going to keep him alive for a little bit, but it only delays the inevitable. He might just give away his own life here. The meatball is chasing after him. He just ticks down. So many flames, so much damage. So cheeky double kill found there for FN as well. Both supports taken off the map. Maybe they might be able to actually pressure this tier 1 in the mid with this little bit of downtime. I'm sure it might be worth the try. But Space going in for the Lincoln Sphere. And this is actually a very, very good item because there's very limited targetable spells from the side of Bait that can actually stop this. I mean, Deadly's actually got 3. He could force Atos, Viper Strike. There's the Disruption and Demonic Purge from SA. The Roar. And that is it. I mean, obviously the Roar is the item that is intended here. Can I show Beastmaster items? Solar Crest, Helm of the Overlord, and Drums. So this man is pretty damn kitted. Just so many buffs. This is literally just Medusa buffing. Bonus attack speed and movement speed, and then more bonus attack speed and armor. And then also the bonus HP that the Granite Golem gives. Yeah, this guy is just full aura mode. Looks like Bait maybe he might try and poke on towards the top lane now. Or at least the Beast might just send his creeps in to do a little bit of damage if he can. Oh, we're going to be a Granite Golem on Granite Golem action. Oh, no, Petashara. He just steals it away. And that's the brutal thing. When you have these items up against each other, you just use it and then immediately take it. It'd be funny if, like, the Beastmaster was there, though, to just steal his own one back. Like, if he's in the range. That would have been good. But even still, Roshan up in 55 seconds. I'm sure that's going to be the next main target here for Bait. So they're just going to hang around this area. Never see the Tide of Overlord. Yeah, a lot of Tides do actually build up now. It's starting to be more of a common item on him. Still another 30 seconds, but yeah, you could just tell Bait, they are only interested in this Roche right now. Every single one of them here, not moving at all. Just going to have constant Hawk vision on the pit as well, so they can see as soon as it's up. Yeah, the inclusion of lads definitely does make a difference. Because of the old build, there's no way a Tide would ever get this item. They're actually gone for a cheeky smoke play themselves. It was just to see if Bait was trying to take Roche, but unfortunately for them, it's not even up. And it actually just spawned as soon as they left the pit. So Unique aren't even going to be aware that this is up now. Well, actually, the Roshan gets dragged out of the pit. I think that ward might have just been able to get the spot. So I think maybe now they know it's up. They're actually going to go for a smoke because they already killed the ward. Dendi leading the charge. He's going to start things off onto Petashara there. He's really controlled up. Look at, oh my god, the damage just getting melted. They even dropped the Roar onto him. That's a little bit of an overkill. Slayer also drops. Biglam's going to die as well. And just like that, Unique get evaporated in a couple of seconds. They didn't stand a chance. And it looks like Unique just weren't ready for that. FN had already went back towards the bot to defend the barracks. Space went back to farming. And Bait just capitalized on that perfectly. And now Aegis and Shard going to be going into the hands of Watson, I imagine. Or did they give the Shard over to... Dendy's already got a Shard. Okay. If Dendy didn't have his one, they most definitely would have given it over towards him because the armor reduction onto like buildings and stuff is just absolutely insane. Allows you to push so much faster. But instead, 23k net worth here for Watson. 8,000 gold over the top of the Weaver now. And it looks like, once again, they're just going to go back for a high ground push. Nope. Sorry, I had to mute. I was a very big sneeze. Whew. Looks like GG. It's looking rough, that's for sure. I mean, you can't rule them out because they do still have the Ravage Cataclysm. This is the only thing that will save them this game. If they fail this combo once, the game is over. It really is. Like, they have to land probably a 4-man Ravage into the Cataclysm, and hopefully that damage will be able to secure a couple of kills. But even still, Watson's super tanky, so he's going to be able to survive the first one. The Beastmaster probably will as well. It's just Gatsy and SA, which will probably get immediately evaporated from it. All 3 cores should be fine. Another EMP gets dodged there with the disruption. Jesus, Watson takes so much damage. Dropped very quickly there. And he doesn't really have any way of just immediately regaining HP. Actually, no, he has got the obviously the aura from the Helm of the Overlord. Gives him that lifesteal. It just shows Unique do actually have a fair bit of high ground defense here. Like, Slayer's got tons of skills who could do it. Biglum can just chop down cooldown if he wants. Just a casual meteor drop and stuff from the Invoker. Paladin Sword. Of course, yeah, Paladin Sword. Big lifesteal. I found that the shard for the gyro is kind of cute. It's kind of effective if you get it like straight on the bang on 20-minute mark, but it definitely starts dropping off quite quickly. EMP. No, not going to be able to get a connection yet again. SA there. Gets the heal. And he's going to go back up to the high ground once more. There's just so many ways that Unique can get pushed back. There's no way for him to stop this. All the dive bomb gets connection. Nice cheeky stun to pick him, but the 4-star takes him out there. So if they do some needs BKB, it would certainly help. Because there's so many ways that Unique can just throw some spells and just push them away with ease. I mean, Bait are slowly taking down this tower, but it's an extremely long-winded version of doing it. It's only down to half HP now. And this is 2 high ground attempts. And we are just keeping the mid constantly pushed in as well, but the bot is slightly slowly pushing out. Actually, FN's already... He's left the lane as well. Wants to go farm up. I guess he just wants this refresher. He's super close to it. But now I think Bait, they realise that the focus not there. They could maybe commit a little bit harder to push up this high ground. Just another stun onto Watson, keeping this guy at bay. But the balls are just constantly giving the vision on the high ground, allowing him to whack into it from afar. Still up there once again, another rocket, but he does get dodged out. FN though, he's returned to base, and Refresher is now up. The double Cataclysm is going to be here soon. This is what Unique have been waiting for. Can they find the correct engagement? Another Tornado EMP connection onto Watson. The 4-star just pushing him out that time. And Pershar has actually gone for a little smoke on his own. Maybe he wants to go immediately for the back lines. He's actually going to wrap around from the outside here. He's going to get it. He jumps in. He gets a nice grab. It's onto 3 of them with the double Cataclysm. Down goes Dendy. The disruption, though, it saves the Beastmaster's life. And still, Watson's got the Aegis. He's going to be pretty healthy. That's only 1 kill. I don't think that's going to be enough to keep themselves in this game. Bigman dies. He buys back. And still, Watson's first life's alive here. FN, though, he does actually manage to pick off SA in the trees. So it's still a 2-for-1 trade. And it looks like Watson's going to have to try and just disengage. Or actually, is he? A nice double Ice Path connection. But still Unique. They're not quite eager to fully commit. They accept what they got, and they will fall back. But, I mean, even still, that's not even bad for Bait. I mean, sure, they lost the Aegis, they lost the Viper and the buyback on the Shadow Demon. But, I mean, they got the tier 3, they got the ranged barracks, and there was a buyback on Bignum as well. And now Cataclysm Ravage on cooldown for 100 seconds. So with that, Bait can probably just push yet again. That's really the only thing that they've been fearing from the side of Unique this entire game. And now that's in the bin, what's stopping them? With this smoke, are they just literally going to run straight up high ground? Maybe catch some members of Unique unawares? We tried to go for a cheeky dive bomb, but gets countered. They're still just waiting so cautiously if anyone steps out of position. What's this going to show himself now? Once again, back up to the siege. Dendy's even alive to join him in. More skills, it's getting done. Trying to push him back from afar. Long range ATOS there onto Slayer, but can't really do anything onto him for now. And they will just finish off the range barracks. No, they won't. Cheeky. Cheeky's a good word, mate. This is a very cheeky thing. Still, yeah, finally the melee barracks falls. Unique tried to push away, but couldn't do it. Now Dendy actually just going to drop the armor onto Slayer, the poor old Shakira. The roar! What the hell? Why did what's the point of that roar? Slayer was dead. I have no idea why he roared there. That seems like a bit of a waste, but hey, it doesn't matter, I guess. It's a pretty short cooldown, to be honest. Only 40 seconds. It still took down the melee barracks. Got a little extra kill. And Space actually has enough money now to buy his Skadi. He won't have buyback, though, so it is a little bit risky. Oh, the Hawk. I'm pretty sure he just got the spawn site courier, right? Yeah, he knows the courier's there. He just needs someone to go kill it for him. I guess Dendy's going to go do it. There you go, they got it. What would have been real BM was if they just watched it, waited for him to buy the items, and then killed it. That would have been proper savage. But even still, I think Team Unique, they're ready to take another fight. Ravage is back up. Cataclysm's also available, I would imagine. It's kind of hard to tell with an Evoker what his skill cooldowns are like. But I'm pretty sure it's been long enough. They're actually going to go for a smoke here. Immediately gets broken. And Watson's trying to beat into the Ancient Golem, but even that manages to escape. Now Tier 4 starting to get spawned. Space is going to use the space that he has and try and get some of them online if he can. And he's definitely cautious to keep buyback available. Like, he buys the extra Orb there, but he does not want to be too greedy and throw it all away. He's not even that interested in pushing this creep wave for some reason. I guess he's just after neutral items for the rest of his team. They only got 2 at the moment. Well, still, I think Bait have also got only 2. Relic and the Eccentric Cap. Which is a pretty damn nice item. Give over towards Dendy. And this is actually, yeah, he's been receiving so much hate. So it's quite nice for him. The 50% status systems might be able to like dodge the Ravage, perhaps. Yeah, this is actually a really good item to counter Ravage Cataclysm. So I'm pretty sure that makes the stun not last long enough for the Cataclysm to go off, and you can just sidestep it. Yeah, that's actually pretty broken. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually gave that to Watson. I mean, he doesn't even know which one he wants. Still rocking the Paladin sword with the Elvic tunic. I guess once again, they're just waiting for the next Roche. A minute and a 40 away. Minute and 40 away. But this man is so farmed. 31,000 gold. Well, about to be 32. 12,000 over the top of space right now. Ags, Hurricane, BKB, Skadi, Manta. Trying to build now in towards the Daedalus next. And he does actually have enough just to buy it. I mean, he won't have anything for buyback, but I don't think they really care about this in this stage of the game, about having buyback. I think he could just literally buy this item up. Yeah, the lever as well. But actually, BKB gets popped to the sides. The Beastmaster nearly got engaged on space, just able to disengage. The Snake's going to chase after Bignum. The Unique. The Royal Maid's there, but the turnaround, the Ravage does get a connection, but there it doesn't mean Dendy. See the Eccentric's cap, he's able to avoid it. Watson doesn't even care at all. Slayer dies. Bignum's going to die as well. And that is the big combo used, and you don't get anything out of it. And to be honest, that could just be GG. That could actually be GG. I don't even know. FN off to the side, was just trying to poke and prod, see if he can get a kill to Gatsy, but not going to find it. And that Eccentric's cap. Eccentric's cap, man. That is so strong against this combo. You can't kill anyone that has this item. It's actually broken. Oh, space. He's trying to get onto the back lines if he can. He's going to avoid the stomp. Focus on Gatsy. The glimmer. It's going to keep him alive. It actually allows to get him the roar. Space. Oh, he survives. The dot. The damage. He takes down. He still ends up dying. He immediately buybacks. He needs help by the rest of his team. Petashara is getting controlled up to the ends of the earth. They're split up as well. Gets the finish onto him. FN's trapped as well. Double kill for Dendi. It's a 3 versus 5. Can these guys do it? I don't think they've got what it takes. As Watson's just sat up on this high ground, they get another stun, another sleep onto space. The jump forward is there from the Tide, trying to make some space for his carry to escape. He may have just signed his own life away though, as once again the barrage coming out from Watson. Actually, there's going to be the slow. He's going to be able to disengage, but even still, they've lost the center barracks. Mega's secured 40 minutes in, and I don't think Unique really have the capabilities to defend against Megas at this stage of the game. I mean, it is 40 minutes in, sure, but Space doesn't have anywhere near the farm he really needs to at this stage. Scardy, Lincoln's, SMY, and Maelstrom, and absolutely nothing else. And Slayer actually has an Octarine core. Jesus Christ. That's a pretty big ticket item for a position 5. I'm kind of weirded out the fact that he didn't go for like a Glimmer, perhaps? I mean, obviously, Bait are going to have detection all the time anyway for the Weaver, so maybe they didn't see the point, but I don't know. Maybe the magic resistance could have helped out a little bit. But even still, 3rd Roshan now. Going to get taken here. And it's even got a refresher shard, wow. So what, double raw? They're actually going to leave it in the hands of Watson, so I guess he's going to have double Stone Gaze and BKB. I think double raw still sounds better. But now it's real, like, David versus Goliath situation here from Unique. They're just going to be spending the whole time pushing away Megas. And now the Bait are just going to come in with Aegis, with Cheese, with Refresher Shards. Like, you struggled to kill Watson once, let alone basically 3 times. And this could just be the GG push coming in. Do Unique have what it takes to defend? They've got the Ravage Cataclysm combo coming up soon. But it's not going to kill Watson. It can't kill Dendi. It won't kill the Beastmaster. It's literally just going to be able to take down Gatsy and SN. But still, first tier 4 dies. The jump forward's there. Maybe they want to try and do something to Watson, but he doesn't care at all. He's just going to stand his ground. Jumps backwards to try and beat into space. He just falls back. It does have actually a double damage. So it's going to help a little bit, but it's still only got about a 3rd of its duration left. I think this is too little, too late. Ravage! Alright, okay, GG. GG! The mass tips are there. Yeah, that's game over. The one way to win this game has just been completely wasted. Yeah, this is over. They're all dead. Oh, they dropped the double Cataclysm, but it doesn't connect onto anybody. Oh, even the BM pause. They've even DC'd before the GG was actually called. Oh, that's some tilt. That is some hardcore tilt. That is a sour way of losing the game. It really is. But well played to Bait. Just really destroyed them in that game number 3. At least Space drops the GG well played. You know, that's some good sportsmanship. I like that. What was that, Ravage? I have no idea, man. I have absolutely no idea. But yeah, that was a real outclass in there from Bait in that game. Just Watson was an absolute demon. I think this all spiraled off of his first blood at the lane. It gave him a nice early lead to get a good couple of stat items, which secured his lane, which secured his farm, and it just spiraled out of control. There was nothing that Unique could actually do to stop it. And I got to think that maybe FN should have committed for the Exalt sooner on. I know obviously he went for the Qualswex to try and help out in the lane against Dendi, but I think just the global presence of the Sunstrike could have net a few earlier kills, and maybe they could have turned this game around. I mean, it always seems strong as well. Sunstrike with a gyrocopter, because the homing missile just sets up for it. I don't know. It might have not made any difference, but even still, it felt like it did. Well played to Bait. They take this best 3 series 2-1. That is some much needed points for them as well. So they're now 3 for 3, I believe. So they might actually have a chance of making it through to the playoffs. Who knows? One can only hope. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed, please think about following my Twitch and my YouTube. Any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate. And I'll be casting more tomorrow.